this is Mary Wynn and this is Crash Course U.S. History. Today we are going to talk about the best part of the 1920s, women. World War I ended in 1919 and women gained the right to vote. They stepped up front to fight for the things they wanted. The 20s brought women into politics and led them to join activist groups and protested for child labor laws and women's workers' protection. Women were able to leave the house and join the workforce. There was a generation gap between the traditional mom and the new young flapper. Clothing was even tighter and shorter than before. Girls started drinking, smoking, and enjoying themselves at the bar. And women like Alice Paul and Margaret Sanders furthered the women's movement.
Laura Pertee here talking about politics. Women have gained the right to vote and have officially stepped into politics. One of the many groups formed by women is the Women's Joint Congressional Committee, or the WJCC. This is an activist group who wanted child labor laws and protection of women workers. With their strong willpower, they helped ban child labor in 1924 and helped with the Shepard-Towner Act, which provided federal funding for maternity and child care. On a differing side, African American women were not worried about feminist issues, but were still struggling with racial discrimination. Also, Hispanic women in the Southwest were focused on the fairness at work. With all of this going on, women were often accused of having a lack of feminine charm and having their constant clamor about equal rights. Women were called out for not being feminine enough. They also wanted to break away from society's expectation of feminine beauty and how they should act.
This is Samantha Mistro here to talk about morals. Daughters were now living their young adult lives very differently from how their mothers did. For the mothers of the 1920s, dresses covered their legs down to the ankles, hair was long and feminine, corsets were worn, and men asked their parents to court their daughters only with the intentions of marriage. Daughters of these women were living in a new age with scandalous knee-length dresses, shocking heeled shoes, short hair, and dating men with cars to take them away from their supervision of their parents, for the fun of it. When women began smoking, drinking, and going out to bars, saloons, and speakeasies, these were places their mothers would have never been caught. Not only were women more outgoing with their style choices, but they also became more open about their sexual orientation and life. Sex and homosexuality were no longer shameful topics of conversation for women. Morals drastically changed as they had no shame and began fighting for themselves. However, the flappers of this age were very, very popular in the cities, while women of the country were still very old-fashioned.
Hey guys, it's Mira Goodman, and today I'm going to talk about fashion. After World War I, women's fashion began to make a dramatic change. Due to the use of less materials, dresses started to get shorter. Clothing started to get lighter in color due to new synthetic fabrics. Fashion designers such as Coco Chanel used new textures, patterns, and colors to create looks never before seen. Even things like underwear began to see changes, going from predominantly cotton to new materials such as silk and rayon. Bras also became a new fashion trend, since corsets became a thing of the past. Silk stockings made an appearance in every color imaginable, and with many different prints to correspond with the whole outfit. Accessorizing was what really made the big statement in the 1920s. The whole outfit had to be matching with every other aspect of the look. This was very different from generations past, where clothing was worn for necessity rather than fashion.
Samantha Mistro again with the influential women of the 1920s. First off, Margaret Sanders with birth control. She was a huge advocate of birth control and did so that she could free women's bodies of the expected right to bear children during war times. Also, Alice Paul joined with British feminists to promote a League of Nations treaty upholding women's rights throughout the world.
Oh hey, it's me again, and I'm back to talk about women in the workforce. More women started to work outside of their homes in the 1920s due to the newfound sense of confidence. Their proportion of the female population held steady at about 24%, which makes sense why male workers still had dominated auto plants and other assembly line activities. Society was now accepting women into average jobs, therefore many women participated in women's professions, which included jobs like nursing, a secretary, a telephone operator, or teaching at colleges or even universities. However, women who did enter the workforce faced discrimination, especially women immigrants who were assigned to unskilled and low-paying positions. For example, in 1929, a male trimmer in the meatpacking industry received 52 cents per hour, and a female trimmer only received 37 cents.
If you like this video,
And want to see more?
don't forget
To subscribe below.
Or click here.
Action.
Spin. Can you? I don't know if you can see it.
Alright, it's gotta be